What's going on, guys? So today I'll do this Shoky review. We continue on with the Zaku month, I guess. I'm gonna call it that. Did 4 Zakus in a row, so let's call it a month.
Actually,
So, we do have the last Zaku in my collection as it stands, and it is the HG Gundam The Origin YMS-11 Act Zaku KYCILIA's Forces Principality of Zeon Prototype Mobile Suit. And it is a different version of the Zaku, definitely further down the line, given that it's a number 11, but also that it's a YMS, which means I believe that's an experimental version, if I remember correctly. Kind of like how a Gundam is an RX, I think YMS sort of falls under that category. I know all of the UC people will just be in the comments just saying, that's what you guys sound like. Anyways, so I picked this up quite a long time ago. It's just been sitting in the backlog. I also had the KYCILIA Zaku 1, which is over here, but someone, bought that off me and then built it. So maybe one day I'll pick that one up. But you got a great image of it right here, and it's got a nice little swooshy thing happening with this very interesting axe thing, and then you got a gun and some explosions and another Zaku there and a different one there and some unfortunate Fetty ships exploding through there. And it is of course from the Origin MSD line. I like the MSD line, it's pretty cool. You got Bandai 2018 down there and red Bandai logo down there. And I've come to the bottom, we see obligatory front and rear shot there, and that's actually that's a pretty cool thing. Maybe I'll try to make that in the thumbnail. We'll see. I can already see this is going to be a hard review of a gray thing on a black background. It's going to work out great. All right, so let me try to read this very tiny thing here. Under the Zeon Army's Pazun project, a new type of mobile suit befitting the next generation was being developed in absolute secrecy. Well, yeah. MS-11 Act Zaku, successor to the MS-06 Zaku 2, was designed primarily for close combat. Its joint drive system used the same field motor as the mobile suits of Earth Federation forces. The power fusion reactor was improved and downsized to deliver greater output and allowed Act Zaku to wield beam weapons. Yay! Which, given this backpack is a little bit, tinier, makes sense. Act Zaku was assigned to KYCILIA's Forces, was issued some same armaments. Zaku 2 may have been a test type. Later it was given model number YMS-11, but its original number remains unknown. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then you got a whole big thing here. Mechanical documentation that unfolds within the world. I'm just telling you about the MSD itself. And you go there, GundamTheOrigin.net. And come around this side, you got number 20 in the line, Origin MSD, BandaiHobby.net. And then all the cool stuff there. Just kind of chilling. A lot of purple. And you come here. Actions! Large Heat Hawks. They couldn't come up with anything better than that. Then you got Heat Hawk. Guess what? I skipped. Alright. Models, characteristically massive portions and wide range of joint motions allow realistic action poses. You got Shield. Yeah, it's a Zaku. They do that. Quadruple mount machine gun. Interesting way to go. Gimmicks and weapons. Its eye, it gets very shifty. It has a hose that can go back and forth. Oh, that's dirty. And then, whoa, hey, what's going on there? Feet. He's got feet that are made for dancing, I guess. Hand parts. Markings. PP, look out toilet, PS, PE, warnings, 3-year-olds don't like KYCILIA near them because she'll put handcuffs on them. And then 2,000 yen, I probably paid thereabouts, I don't remember, I don't actually know where I got this one. I think Hobbytown, but I can't recall. And we're looking thing there, illustration by Yuta Otani, Planeta. Yay. New Zaku, still upside down even with its much bigger Heat Hawk. Why is it upside down? Well, same reason they're always upside down. Because Shoky said so. Alright, let's go. Alright, it is turntable time. And for those thinking that I would possibly do the blacketiest black thing ever joke here, I won't, because this is a gray thing, not a black thing. And there's no joke about a gray thing being very gray. Although, once again, probably not going to show up with a ton of detail on this background here. But as it goes, this is an interesting version of the Zaku. In a lot of ways, reminded me of the Dom test type that we got, way long ago, which was basically like the first or second review that I did on the channel. I'm trying to remember. It was way, 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 way back in the day. Has a lot of similar features, especially the way the hoses go over the head and stuff like that. Doesn't have the giant flared out legs and stuff, but that, nobody else really does. Let's just be honest here. But given that I've built 4 different Zaku generations here, both meaning an older kit and an older design of a Zaku, things change. Like, there's a lot of similarities, like especially with these. Like, the joints are very much the same in the arms and things like that. But then you get into some of the way the chest is designed here. Definitely very different. The head is very different on this one, as we'll look with articulation and stuff. And then, of course, you change up the leg armor. I think get a lot more slick down here, a lot more streamlined, no more flared out jeans and stuff like that. And then just the way the hoses, backpacks, and everything like that attaches is just different and updated, and it's pretty cool. Not to mention, it's got like the cool KYCILIA Forces logo down the side. But let's try to get a closer look at this big gray boy. Alright, so we're going to try to take a closer look at it. I had to turn off the more immediate lights so it wasn't just solid glare. But as you can see here, it does look pretty cool. One thing I wish Zaku's had was a bit of a visor like going across there, because it just looks like a deep well, sort of. Like, there's one thing I like about the Exceed heads that actually do have that. But as you can see, it's a very, very different type of Zaku as we go here. Normally I do the comparisons a little bit later, but I'm going to do it right now so we can see the difference between this and at least the CK version here. You can see the chest, totally different here. Actually very Gundam-like in response. The shoulder, same thing there. The arms are essentially the same, just very different construction, very different elbow guards, stuff like that. The front skirts are super different. The knees, legs, feet, everything is very, very different. So basically they kept the arms, but that's about it. I mean, even the head is a lot sharper, a lot pointier, more venti, stuff like that. So, but as you can tell, the shield doesn't change in any way, shape, or form. This backpack doesn't really represent the thing. So let's compare to... Oh, there went that guy. Compared to the Char Zaku version. And you can see the backpack is essentially the same, but the hoses change because they plug into the side skirts. Also, this kind of maneuvers around a little bit. But there's also the difference between an Origin Zaku and something a little bit different. So I'm trying to get his crotch to cooperate here. He was set up to do one thing, and now I'm making him do another. It's a little weird. Once again, I really wish I had not lost that little beak part there. So you can see, oh, hey, turn around. A bit more Zaku-ness happening there. I think it's funny that they kept the same shoulder spikes all this time. It's like they're just, yeah, that's the design we're going with. It is what it is. One thing I did kind of forget to do in the instructions, he does come with the same kind of crotch peg, or maybe I'm wrong and it just says use one from a different one, but I did forget that. He does come with a lot of stuff that you can still use from a standard Zaku, particular joints and the way the legs construct, stuff like that, but for the most part, a lot of new runners. I didn't do an unboxing for this guy. I apologize to other people who get to see the unboxings and stuff like that, but let me come up a little bit so we can look at the head. So you can see there, he's got some stickers on the side. It's an Origin kit, lots of stickers abound. KYCILIA's symbol there, stuff like that. Once again, this is how the hoses come up over the side of the head, much like the dome. Just something I was pointing out. That guy's getting a little loose over time. Once again, the very pointy snout. He does have the neck joint that's down inside, not the polycap style neck joint, and I did use that type of eye just to change things up. I kind of wish I hadn't. Now, something different about this version to all the other ones I've built so far, and I knew was a thing previously, but I've yet to see it again. So, to me, one of the earliest versions of the Char Zaku Origin version that had an updated thingy, it has a mechanical moving eye, and I shall demonstrate this. As you turn the head, the eye too turns, except for when you get to a certain angle and then it stops because the gear disengaged, which is really freaking annoying. There it goes. So that's a much better way to look at it. And call me crazy, like everybody says this. So I remember when the Origin stuff first came out, the brand new version of Char Zaku, which was like the very red version, I think, and it could do that. Maybe it was a mix of different kits and something like that. I just remember somebody building it and the eye worked that way instead of the normal manuals moving the eye back and forth. Sorry, I had to retrieve our downed friend. I don't know why he fell over in the first place. But either way, so he does do the forward and back. It's on a hinge, so you gotta be careful there. And also this nose likes to drop the way it's pinned together. Okay, so here's the gear drive. So you can see there, it does want to slot back and forth, and then the gear that actually engages with the eye. Unfortunately, the way that the eye section is put in there is so loose that if you knock it wrong, it'll all come apart, and then you have that mess there. But see, it just does that, just like the MG does, which is cool. Otherwise, the shoulders do move, but these swing up with the armpits like that. Can go all the way around, very unencumbered, which is nice. Standard Zaku shoulder situation here. So you can get pretty much out to 90 degrees, which is fine and dandy. You do get the 110 whatever. Apparently there are only 3 units, 101, 102, 103. I hate whenever they have flat stickers that go around a round surface. It's kind of dumb. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Very good. He can hold his own shoulder cone for whatever reason, you know, it's a thing you can do. He's very encumbered by his hoses, so he can rotate, but it's awkward, like really, really awkward. I do like this extra like vent design down here and stuff. That looks pretty cool. You can see here how the hoses tuck into the side skirts to be cool, and then you have mounts for weapons and stuff. You've got ball jointed front skirts. I broke those apart. You don't have to. I chose to. He does have to swing forward hips, so he can be kicked backwards through a window, like, no, that kind of situation. Also, just really good articulation to the leg. Then knee joint bendy bend. Nice color separation here between the thigh gray, the frame gray, and the body gray. I like that. Just all new designs along here. Everything's just neat. I digs it. I digs it a lot. And unlike the sniper that we looked at before, where I made sure to seam line it, they put the purposeful panel line there, and I appreciate that in the newer designs. You do have an interesting ankle tilt here. It's a big, chunky ankle. I digs it. And then it can rotate at the top, and then the foot itself can pivot. It does have like a futuristic car kind of toe to it, also like a gaming mouse. Very interesting. The back ankle skirt, I should say, is very interesting in how it just plugs in and is kind of in the way at the same time. I didn't just have normal wrist ball joints. I kind of skipped over that, but it is what it is. But this guy is, it's a good deal. I dig it. I really do want the Zaku 1 to match it, because now I want to build an Origin Zaku 1 since I built the unicorn version. I want to see how big a difference there is. I also want to see how big a difference there is in the Thunderbolt version. Now, moving on, we have weapons, such as this one. Quad barrel machine gun thing. And I guess it is now an energy weapon, no longer using other things. Now, it has a very interesting design here for its like rifle butt. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And it does have a swing out handle, like you do. He does have a trigger finger that you only use for this gun, because it doesn't give you a standard Zaku gun, which is first time in, like, forever. And you plug it in like that, and it does have a little kink in it, so you can tuck that away in such a way. And then if you really feel like it, you can bring the hand over and hold on to the handle and just not going to make the effort because it's one of the dumber things that it can do. But that's a cool gun. I actually do like it. It's funny to see a short, stubby quad machine gun. It's like most of the time they're huge. I mean, like this guy, you know, big old normal machine gun. But it figured it'd be bigger, but it's meant for combat and close quarters battle. So a shorter gun with a tighter range. I don't know. Looks neat. I dig it. It'd be a cool custom weapon for something in the future. I like it. No kind of like scope on it or anything. So that was interesting. Now he does have his melee weapons. Does come with a normal heat hawk, but who cares? We're here for the big boys, the big heat hawks, literally as they are called. Now, yellow blades are yellow. Those are because I painted it. Now, what I was trying to do with the paint did not work out. In fact, I had several accidents, including I ran out of white paint, so I couldn't get a heat line there. So instead, I ended up with a speckled look, which is annoying. And then I had a slight bleed over issue where the masking kind of failed. And then while trying to clean it up, I did a big scratch across the blade there. Now, these are weird looking. Look at this design. Like, it looks like it's actually a vertical cannon. I thought this was legit a gun / axe. Which I'm not against by any means. I just find it really strange. Like it's meant to really cut through some stuff. And I digs it. Now, this was actually done over a red base coat. And I was trying to get a little more orange out of it. It didn't quite do what I wanted. But yeah, still looks pretty good. I find it interesting that they didn't bother giving you a sticker for that. Like to cover the blade. But then again, they don't do anything for the heat hawks, which also, you know, turn orangey yellow when they heat up. So, I don't know. Like, they're just against it entirely as a people. Bandai just like, hey, we'll give you beam sabers, heat hawks, forget it. Except for the SDs. Or if you want a cool beam effect with the really big axe that I believe, what was it, MASH? MASH had that one. The huge axe. Still kind of want that kit. Get that black tri-stars. Just got to have them because I want them to be jealous of Char. So either way, you can hold the axes. It looks really cool. I do wish there was a kink to the wrist or a little more to the thing so I could get a little more kind of point to it. Usually with my axe weapons, I like to be able to droop them a little. And you don't really get that in the same way. I guess if you hold the very end of it, you can get a little droop to it. So, I don't know. Not entirely certain. But they look cool. I dig them. I dig on them. Let's see if I can replicate that cover shot. The other thing it does come with is weapon storage. And weapon storage is
always good.
Always good. And you just plug these bad boys into the sides here. And I'm going to just say it now. While it's great that this is an option, it's a stupid option because they're actually in the way. So even with nothing on it, kind of hindering some motion there, buddy. Thanks. Oh, the hips are swinging forward. Now, if you want to mount said said weapons here, you just kind of come around there and you kind of snap it in place. You kind of snap it. There we go. And then because of the way these go in there, it just like that. I mean, you could do it handle up. It shows it for some reason going up like that, which I guess actually sort of gets it out of the way, but doesn't make a lot of sense, at least not to my brain. And then it's got these big like tabs sticking out the side, making me think like those were meant to plug in elsewhere. Now, I guess in theory, in some kind of theory, you could put them up here. I mean, they're still sort of in the way, but also out of the way at the same time. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just leave them up here. It wasn't going to work too well on the side skirts in my mind, but that looks pretty sweet. Yeah, big old heat axe sticking out the top of your backpack. I think that's pretty cool. Hold on, let's get both of them up there. And once again, They add the little thingy at the bottom, which is great, except for when I'm trying to remove the thing from the hands. I've never been a fan of that. I like my easy out weapons. But then again, on a weapon you kind of want to hold on to, I guess it makes sense. Fine. Fine, you got me to admit it. It makes sense. Yeah, see, look, that looks pretty sweet. Slide it down just a little. Like that. Yeah, there we go. He's cosplaying as a DJ. Hold on. Let's see. Let's rotate those out just a little. Yeah, there you go. Just cosplaying as a DJ. That's all it is. DJ Zaku. DJ Zaku! I don't know, guys. Just it's been a wacky week, okay? I've built a lot of Zakus. There we go. X Zaku, all shooting up defettis. I don't know. With its big old heat hawks on the back. Looks pretty cool. I mean, yeah, the hose is getting away, but, you know, it is what it is. You could just do whatever. But that looks pretty cool. As it goes, it's a cool version of the Zaku. I like the idea that they were advancing the Zaku, even though it was kind of a foregone thing. Like, you know, we could be building bigger, better mobile suits. No, let's stick with the Zaku. We need plenty of grunts. Okay, how about we build one that's even better? Maybe we steal some of that Fetty tech. Okay. It'll probably keep up with the Gundam. Do it! Yeah, see, all you gotta do is if you say it'll do better against the Gundam, that's just the instant permission granted there. So let's get it out here with the other Zakus and things we've done so far, since it's been like Zaku Month, where we started with Origin Char, and then with Sand Boy here, Sand Cannon Boy, just want to call Sand Cannon, all the way up to last week with our Zaku one, Sniper from Unicorn, which I still say has the best ankles out of everybody, but the rest of it is still kind of falling apart. But, you know, as it goes, you got a whole bunch of different versions of Zaku here. Let's actually kind of... Let's just see here. I'm trying to put them in order of appearance, kind of. Or development, maybe. There we go. Tuck the big old gun right up in his bazooka. That'll work. There we go. Oh, it's like a Power Rangers thing. There's a lot more Tan Rangers than we expected. Hold on, let's just turn that way so it's a little bit more serious. But either way, like I said, now I want to get the Zaku 1 KYCILIA version just because. It's neat. I like the build. Stickers are Origin stickers. The gray is surprisingly easy to clean up without a whole lot of nub problems. And only the weird articulation problems coming from the hoses plugging into the side skirts, which is strange in my mind. Works better to plug into the torso like all other previous Zakus. The new axes, pretty cool, but you got to paint the blades. If you're stupid like me and you do it much harder than it should be, then you end up with a slight issue. But otherwise, they look good if you paint them in the yellow color. But that's pretty much it. Guys, give me a big old thumbs up on this if you like it. And hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. And of course, check out the MS100 contest. There's not a whole lot of time left. But if you got something you can throw together real quick to throw in on that, or just want to buy a shirt or whatever, all the merch is available in the link down below. It's just funny. It's like, mwah, 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 mwah. And of course, that's it. I'll see you guys on the next review. Remember, as always, to keep on building.